Hey everybody, it's Rob Stanley with FeedbackWhiz, and today I wanted to get Brandon on a video and talk a little bit about, everything's kind of slowing down right now in the United States with the virus going on, but I actually think it could be an opportunity for some of the Amazon sellers out there to maybe take advantage of. And one of the first things that came to my head when I was talking to Brandon a little bit was research. You could be researching new products. Look at Brandon, talk a little bit about like when you start the research process and the timeline it takes by the time you find the product and get it to the United States. There's a gap there of time that it takes before it hits, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a couple things to that. For sure that there is, it takes a little time to start the business and to start a new product. Yeah. The whole life cycle of research to launching a product could be anywhere from 10 to 16 or 18 weeks, depending on, getting samples and supply chain and lead time and how you ship it, right? So all of those things can add to the lead or add to how long it takes you. To that point with the research, it's interesting because you're seeing things in the market that aren't the norm. So you have to kind of adjust your research numbers a little bit to take that into account as well, though.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, still, even current sellers, I mean, we're starting to hear that some of the factories are coming on board, or just starting to. So another kind of thing that came into my head was you should probably be a little bit in communication with your factories right now, and kind of maybe even weekly or daily. Are you checking in with yours right now?
Yeah, we've been in communication with all of our factories and suppliers, making sure that they're okay or back up and running or what they need, what their capacity is. We've pretty much checked on all of the products that we had ordered before Chinese New Year that we were waiting on getting produced and then shipped out. Anything that we have that we currently produce, we needed to make sure that we have enough inventory to not run out. Luckily, we had stocked up pretty good for Chinese New Year, so we didn't run into a situation where we ran out of too many SKUs. But I imagine that moving forward, because the new norm is not going to be, society is going to have some drastic changes over the next few months.
Yeah.
And so you have to try to see where that opportunity is. You have to adjust your business and your business model and make decisions based on where you think the United States is going. And if you look at other countries, you can kind of get an idea of what to expect.
Yeah. So one of the things that came to my head when we were talking about doing this video really quickly, I was like, kind of look ahead a little bit. We got summer coming up. So think about maybe possibly some summer products. Think about things people could do while they're indoors. I was even thinking about like out here in California, we're having a pretty light winter right now, which means summer is going to be pretty hot and we're probably going to get some fires throughout California. I was thinking like first aid kits would be interesting, batteries. Now, I'm not saying you should get in all these categories. I mean, because batteries is really not a super easy category, maybe even like first aid kits because of what you're dealing with. But I'm just thinking, start thinking outside the box a little bit of what's coming up in the next, 60, 90 days.
Yeah, absolutely. So people are going to be inside a lot more throughout the country. A lot of areas of the country are going to be locked down almost completely.
Yep.
Like they're bringing in the National Guard to protect the businesses that are going to be forced to be closed. So thinking that, in 3 weeks from now, you can still go to the store and maybe get some food, or go run to the store to get something isn't going to be the norm. And if there are distribution channels or delivery drivers out there that are fully protected, that are able to deliver goods, which I imagine Amazon is going to work with the national government and the National Guard to be able to try to still deliver goods. You have to imagine that there are going to be categories that are going to do really well on Amazon, and then there's going to be categories that do really poorly. So if you think about what that would be like on the poor side, I would think party supplies, right? No one's throwing a party. Everyone's kind of quarantined and stuck in the house. But if you think about stuff that you're talking about, survival gear, anything in grocery, there are a ton of categories, entertainment, games, toys, even for adults, right? Like, so you have so many things that you can launch that will be good for the next 6 months or year. I don't know if people are going to be outdoors hiking. you have to do that social distancing thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if people are going to be going to the beach at all. So I don't know if beach toys or anything like that is good. I have a whole I have a bunch of beach toys I'm supposed to be launching this summer, but
Yeah.
who knows how they'll do now.
Yeah.
So you just have to try to think like what's going to happen in the United States over the next 3 to 6 months. And just before you and I started talking, the press conference, even the president said July or August, expect a lot of things to still be locked down.
Yeah.
So if the stock market wasn't panicking before that, now you have to imagine retail stores are going to suffer. People are going to lose jobs. You're talking about people that can't survive 2 to 4 weeks without a paycheck. And now they're talking about drastically reducing salaries and pay to a large percentage of the population for the next 3 to 6 months. So spending power is going to go down, and there's going to be a lot of, a lot of people that are hurt, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. Things I was kind of came to my head was like, not saying it's a fun thing, but you could be working on, if you haven't already, prepping your taxes, right? I mean, get your business together. If you don't have, let's say some people are running small businesses, but they don't have QuickBooks, might be a good time to get QuickBooks, move everything into it, right? Get things in place, I think, is a good idea. Use this time wisely. A lot of times when I was running my e-commerce business, it was like, I was so busy. I was like, I just don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. Well, now we're seeing people have time. So use this time to your advantage, right? Deal with your financials, look for new products, get your inventory shape, check with your suppliers. And then even when the suppliers come back online, I mean, we were mentioning, the time frame it takes. Most factories are at least 20, 30 days, then you got to ship it over. Let's just round it to approximately just under 2 months to get something on the shelf back in Amazon, approximately. Unless you're flying something small over, then you can get it quicker. But I think this is a great opportunity for people to kind of reevaluate their business and look for those new items. And then, of course, the people who maybe have been thinking about, starting an Amazon business, I wanted to point out, Brandon's got free courses. I mean, you should be watching videos, listen to our podcast, listen to check out Brandon's course. Tell them a little bit about what you have on that free course there, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, so to touch on your point, I think it's a really great point that don't sit there and binge Netflix for the next 2 months. Like if you're locked inside, this is a prime opportunity to change your life and to change your habits and the way that you live moving forward. There's going to be a massive. This isn't just like back to business as usual in the next 6 months. You have an opportunity to change everything about the way you live and what you do for a living, and how much money you make and your income. So those that are going to be productive for the next 3 to 6 months versus those that are going to be able to watch and tell you about every single show on Netflix. Some people are going to be much further ahead than others. As far as the free course, what we put together was basically a condensed version of my full course, but just with like 4 modules. I wanted to show you the difference between what we teach and what a lot of the other courses that are out there that are taught by either fake gurus or people teaching recycled content, people that don't sell anymore or haven't sold in a while or were never successful, which is the majority of courses out there. I wanted to show you what is currently working. What is the difference between the way we look at data to choose products, with the way that we use that data to optimize our listings, the way we source products better than just going to Alibaba. Yeah. Which seems to be the default suggestion by most of the bad coaches out there. And then how we are currently launching products. And I talk about some of the algorithms, some of the Amazon algorithm that we figured out and how to use that algorithm to get your products ranking for many keywords, not just one keyword, and exactly what Amazon's looking for. So all of that's available for free. I wanted to give more value for free than you're going to get from one of these other scam courses, so that you can see the difference really of learning from someone that's constantly launching products, that has a big team that's doing it like we are, or one of those other guys that's out there basically just getting rich off of selling courses.
Yeah, absolutely.
But be productive while you're home. Like Rob, like the whole purpose of this call really is start planning your future. Don't be unproductive. get orders, you know, for samples. If you can get them delivered to you over the next month or two, I'm sure mail isn't going to stop completely. They're going to find a way to deliver it to you.
Sure.
So you can still order samples. You can still start planning to launch products and do some research on products. And you might come out of this with a much more successful business than, you know, than the rest of the country. You have a lot of people that are going to be suffering, and hopefully you guys can not be in that same boat.
Yeah, that's perfect. And then let's tell them, how do they get to that free course, Brandon?
The best way, I did a bit.ly link because it's really confusing otherwise, and I wanted to lead straight to a very easy sign-up page. I have to figure that out, but it's bit.ly, bit.ly.com/free PL course, all lowercase. So bit.ly.com/free PL course. I'm sure you'll add it to the notes or something.
Yeah, I'll definitely add it to the notes. Well, you know, we don't want to take all the time up, and we know things are changing like weekly. So obviously if things change even more, I'll get Brandon back on. We'll do another video to kind of update this one. But Brandon, appreciate your time. I know you're super busy. Thanks, and take care of yourself.